Consumers have every right to know how animal products are produced so that they can make educated choices. There was a time when I used to consume animal products, and it was only because I didn't know any better. I didn't know of all of the things that had to happen to animals for those animal products to turn up on store shelves. For instance, I had no idea what was happening in the dairy industry when I used to eat cheese pizza and ice cream and, put milk in my cereal. I didn't know what was involved. I just went to the grocery store and put those items in my cart, and never thought twice about how those products were produced. So I am so thankful that there were vegans out there who educated me so that I can see for myself what was happening to these animals so I can make educated choices. And it is my choice to not fund animal cruelty. And I believe a lot of people are funding animal cruelty simply because they don't know any better. Most people actually think that dairy cows automatically produce milk. They don't automatically produce milk. They produce milk because they're mothers or they're about to be mothers. They're pregnant. They're lactating. That milk they're producing is for their babies. But in the dairy industry, dairy farmers want to make money. So they forcibly impregnate dairy cows to get them to start lactating. When those dairy cows give birth, it is standard practice across the globe that they remove those babies shortly after birth. And it's standard practice that they will put them in tiny pens like this. And, most of these calves are being kept outdoors. So if it's raining, like it was here, these little baby animals are out there in the rain. If it's snowing, if these animals are up north, they're out there in the snow. If there's a blizzard, if there's a hurricane, whatever the weather conditions, if it's hot, if it's cold, they're out there. And all kinds of weather extremes. They do not bring these animals in. Some of these farms literally have thousands of calves. They can't bring these animals indoors. They don't have any place to put them indoors. These animals are outside without their mothers. These are babies. These babies should be with their mothers. And guess what? There are plant-based milk alternatives. There's even plant-based ice cream and plant-based cheeses. And they're just as good, if not better. And no animal has to die for it. Because, if these calves are boys, they will be slaughtered. That's where veal comes from. Veal is a byproduct of the dairy industry. And the dairy cows themselves are slaughtered when they can no longer produce enough milk to be profitable. That typically happens at about 5 years of age when they can live over 20 years. Yeah, it's just weird that so many people come to vegans' live streams just to harass them and to, make it clear that they are pro-animal cruelty. And it's just strange that people are, yeah, thank you, Edgar. That's awesome. I'm glad that there are some people here who care about animals. But guess what? You don't even have to care about animals to be vegan. You don't have to care about animals to be vegan. You just have to know right from wrong. You just have to understand that it is wrong to abuse animals. As long as you understand that it is wrong to abuse animals, you understand that you need to be vegan, because that is what veganism is. Veganism is taking a stand against animal abuse, not just saying you're against animal abuse and then 2 minutes later literally funding it, paying people to chop the heads of animals off. Like these little calves, if they're boys, they're going to have their heads chopped off because they're completely useless to the dairy industry. So what typically happens is, well, some farmers will kill them as soon as they're born because they're useless. They can't, ever milk these animals. But typically what happens is they send them off to the veal industry, and they are raised for, 3-4 months, and then they are slaughtered. But even if, I'm sure there's some dairy farmers out there, they're for beef, they're for beef. Well, even if the dairy farmers do send these male calves off to be raised for beef cattle are slaughtered between 12 and 22 months of age. They can live over 20 years. They're still slaughtered very, 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 very young. So just knock off the nonsense. And yeah, more and more plant-based options are taking over store shelves. So there's absolutely no reason in the world for anybody to be consuming dairy products or any animal products. Well, yeah, you can spread your lies, but bye-bye. So if you're against animal cruelty, you absolutely need to go vegan. And it's strange that people come to the defense of plants, but they don't come to the defense of these animals. But just know, if any of you people are literally seriously concerned about plants, more plants are killed to fatten up the animals that you eat. And animal agriculture is the leading cause of deforestation. So think about what that means for plants. As 1 acre of land is cleared, and it's mainly to graze and grow food for livestock. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I ain't putting up with nobody's crap. Putting up with nobody's crap. If you're pro animal abuse, you don't need to be here. I know there's people out there who enjoy harming animals. I'm trying to reach the people who are against harming animals. Just a bunch of nonsense. Yeah, I'm certainly not paying people to intentionally take knives to the throats of innocent creatures. So it's just so sad that so many people come out like cockroaches in the night to defend, animal abusers. Yes, vegan food is so much better. It's tastier, and it's much healthier. From the American Institute for Cancer Research, from the National Kidney Foundation, from the American Heart Association, a plant-based diet can help prevent all of those diseases, can help reduce the risk of all of those very common and very deadly diseases. And if you have any of those diseases, a plant-based diet can help treat them. From the American Institute for Cancer Research, a plant-based diet can help fight cancer. From the National Kidney Foundation, a plant-based diet can help slow the progression of kidney disease. And from the American Heart Association, heart disease is the leading cause of death around the globe. A plant-based diet can help prevent heart disease, and it's the only diet known to reverse it in some cases. Just watch The Last Heart Attack with Dr. Sanjay Gupta. No, it's called animal cruelty. It's not life, it's cruelty. And it would be nice if, you animal haters could just go away. Just go away. I just want the people here who actually care about animals, who actually understand that animal abuse is not right. And so many people look at this. So for anybody watching this who cares about animals, look at all these ignorant comments that people are making. Like, they're so proud that animals are being tortured and killed for their food preferences. They're just so proud. They're here just to spread hate for animals. Stand up for animals. Please take a stand for animals. If you claim to be an animal lover, please take a stand for animals and go vegan. Stop taking a stand for animal abuse. That is what you're doing every time you purchase animal products. You are taking a stand for animal abuse, because that is all that is involved in producing those products that you're buying. Cheese. This is how cheese is produced, by taking baby animals from their mothers, keeping them in tiny pens where they can barely move, out there in all kinds of weather conditions. And then these little babies are killed if they're boys because they're completely useless to the dairy industry. Please, people, I understand there are people out there who love to abuse animals. They get off on abusing animals. I sign petitions every day against people who abuse cats and dogs. I mean, there was a lady a month ago who got in a fight with her boyfriend, took his dog and threw the dog off the balcony, killing the dog. Yeah, I'm sure you realize that's animal abuse. But you're telling me if she had taken a bolt gun to the dog's head first and then threw the dog off the balcony, that would not have been an act of animal cruelty? Because that's what like a lot of meat eaters say. Oh, well, you know, those animals are killed humanely. You know, they take a bolt gun to their head, kill them instantly. Perfectly humane. So if we use that logic, all that lady needed to do was have a bolt gun on hand. Take the bolt gun to the dog's head. Then that shouldn't have been a crime, according to a lot of people's logic. It's time to wake up, realize that if you're eating meat, dairy, eggs, seafood, you are funding animal abuse. It's just a fact. How is killing an animal not animal abuse? The only time it's ever okay to kill an animal is if your life is in jeopardy and that animal is attacking you, or if you're literally going to starve to death because there's no plant-based foods. But if you live in a civilized society, you have access to lots and lots of plant-based foods. No reason to kill animals. It's just strange so many people are here to promote animal abuse. Yeah, you can eat vegan cheese. No need to have little babies taken from their mothers and killed to steal their food. I mean, it's sad that you think it's a manly thing to do to stand up for animal abuse. No, there's not enough land. There's not enough land to pasture raise animals. That's why there's so few animals that are being pasture raised, because there's not enough freaking land. They cram these pigs and chickens and turkeys into these industrial sheds. Because yeah, it would take up a lot of land to let these animals roam. There's not enough land. It would be a lot more environmentally devastating to let all of these animals run free out in a pasture. And it's going to cost you a lot of money. So a truly pasture-raised animal, you're going to be paying a lot more money for a truly pasture-raised animal. And the better those animals are treated, the more they want to live. But they're all still slaughtered at a fraction of their natural lifespan. I mean, even if you do spend like $90 and you get yourself a truly pasture-raised turkey for Thanksgiving, that turkey is still slaughtered at about 12 weeks of age, when they can live like 10 years. They're slaughtered at 12 weeks of age, just like the turkeys that come from the shit-filled sheds where most turkeys come from. They're still slaughtered very, very young as babies. So, you know, you can try to twist things and try your damnedest to make this okay to be paying people to harm animals, but it's not okay. I mean, I honestly, I'll be honest, I used to try to justify it. You know, like I said, the last Thanksgiving when I had turkey, that was probably like 2007, 2008, when I started to like, you know, see slaughterhouse footage, and I'm like, this is some fucked up shit they're doing to these animals. And, oh, but it's Thanksgiving and I can't let my family down. We have to have turkey, you know, and it's like, well, at least if I'm going to get a turkey, I'm going to get a pasture-raised turkey. The organic market in my town, yeah, I had talked to the owner, and he said he had been to the Amish farm where his organic turkeys come from, and they literally have 4 acres of land to roam. And I'm like, okay, well, if I'm going to get a turkey, I'm going to get a truly pasture-raised turkey. Well, this was like back in 2007, 2008. This was like a 12-pound turkey. That turkey was like $70. Now, just this past Thanksgiving, I overheard a coworker talking about how she got like about a 12-pound turkey, and it was like $9.99 in 2021. Yeah, so you're going to pay a pretty penny for a pasture-raised animal, a truly pasture-raised animal. But again, those animals are still slaughtered as babies, and they're still murdered without good cause. Just because I want to sit down and eat a holiday meal with my family, that is not justification for chopping an animal's head off. I'm sorry I was so foolish. I wish I could go back and, well, let me not get into that, but got to be so careful what you say. Can't just be completely honest, but no, I don't have to save my breath. There are people out there who are listening. Even if it's just one person out of the 116 people right now who are watching, even if it's just one person who's listening, I guarantee at least one person is listening to what I'm saying and is going to consider going vegan, who is going to look into this a little bit further and will probably end up going vegan. Maybe there's somebody on the fence right now about to go vegan and they come across this live stream and what I'm saying is enough just to push them to say, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it because, I've waited too long. I waited too long. I regret that. Most vegans will tell you that the only regret about going vegan is that they waited so long, that they hesitated, that they made excuses. Yeah, I'm ashamed that I made excuses, but I didn't know everything back then. And back then, I never even heard the word vegan. I didn't even know hardly any vegetarians. I think there was one lady at my work and she was a vegetarian, but, I wasn't like friends with her or anything. She was just somebody who worked, in a different area of the place where I worked. So, yeah, see, torturing animals makes you happy. Go away. Just go away. This is like harassment. Harassment. Overpopulation. Do you know that farmers literally sexually abuse animals to force them to reproduce? They call it artificial insemination. It's not. Just look it up. There are instructional videos from the pork industry, from the poultry industry, from the dairy industry, from the salmon industry, from the honey industry about how they collect semen from the male animals for that so-called artificial insemination process. Do you think it's okay to masturbate an animal and force them to ejaculate? I hope not, but that's what they're doing in the animal agriculture industry. That is actually what you are funding when you consume animal products. That might not be your intention, but you are literally funding an industry that takes the penises of animals, strokes them until they ejaculate, to take that semen, to force it into the female animals to impregnate them or to fertilize their eggs, like in the case of turkeys and chickens and salmon, so that they can produce those products to sell to you. If you understand that it would be wrong for somebody to force semen into an unconsenting woman's vagina, why is it okay to force semen into an unconsenting female of another species' vagina? Yeah, that's sexual abuse too. It is. And if you're from the state of Oregon, go to yesonip13.org, sign the petition, make sure Yes on IP13 gets on the ballot this November to get animal agriculture banned, to get hunting and fishing banned in the state of Oregon, and to get the artificial insemination process of animals banned in the state of Oregon because it is sexual abuse. And hunting is just as cruel as killing a human. Like putting a bullet through an animal's head is the same exact cruel and violent act as putting a bullet through a human's head. There's no difference. Legally, there might be a difference, but I'm not a speciesist. I'm not a human supremacist. I see it as being no different because it is no different. You're still taking a life. And deer, for instance, it's not the deer who are destroying the planet. Humans are literally destroying the planet. And that's a fact. It's a fact you can't deny. The proof is everywhere. I mean, every sample of ocean water contains plastic. It's not the fucking animals causing plastic particles to end up in every part of the freaking ocean. Forest fires, literally, forest fires intentionally set because it's a quick and easy way to clear the land, to graze cattle and grow food for livestock. 1 acre of land is being cleared every single second of every single day. It's not animals clearing an acre of land every second. It's humans. And this clearing is mainly to graze and grow food for livestock. Animal agriculture is the most environmentally destructive industry that has ever existed. And this is a fact. And just read Joseph Poor's study, Poore. That study will back up what I'm telling you right now. He and other researchers at Oxford University, after doing an extensive study of over 40,000 farms, concluded that animal agriculture is so environmentally destructive, going vegan, not vegetarian, not regenerative agriculture, but going vegan is the best way to save the planet. And that if the world went vegan, land totaling the size of Africa could be freed up. And what is this bird flu thing that's happening? What is this bird? Okay, it's sad that, you're a grown adult, but you're literally having baby animals killed so you can consume their baby food. Plants are sentient. Oh my God. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Why am I so angry? Why are you so angry? Where you hate on vegans for just stating facts about what's happening to animals, to try to convince people to stop hurting animals. Why does it make you so mad that there are people out in the world that actually care about what's happening to the animals, that actually care what's happening to this planet and want this brutality ended? Can end so easily. It's just a matter of moving your hand a few feet. When you go to the grocery store, instead of grabbing the cow's milk, move your hand a couple feet the other way. Grab the oat milk, grab the rice milk. Leave the cow's milk on the store shelf. Unless maybe you're pro-animal cruelty, like obviously some people here are, even stating that, hey, I love to see animals abused. But if you're against animal cruelty, you need to go vegan because you're literally funding animal cruelty if you're not vegan. That's why I went vegan. I didn't go vegan because I didn't like eating cheese or ice cream or steak or filet mignon or pork tenderloin. I went vegan because I saw what was happening to these animals to produce those products, and I was appalled. I could not fucking believe. I was in tears, and you don't have to be emotionally affected when you see footage of what is happening to these animals. Just simply understand that, hey, this is some fucked up shit. It's completely unnecessary. Animal agriculture is destroying this planet, and eating animal products isn't even healthy. It's not vegans dropping dead by the thousands each day prematurely from heart attacks and strokes. Not vegans. It's not vegans filling up the hospital beds. It's not vegans. It's not vegans that caused this pandemic. And what was this other pandemic about to explode with the bird flu? I think they said something about started in Canada, possibly on a poultry farm in Canada. Ban fucking animal agriculture right now. This is getting fucking ridiculous. Now there are wild birds dying, eagles dying from bird flu all over the United States. This is some fucked up shit. But everybody just wants to turn the other way, completely ignore what's going on, call vegans crazy, worry about how angry I am. I think I would be crazy if I wasn't angry. I think I should be more angry. I think I should be exploding. Like even when I go to work and I overhear my coworkers talking about how they ate chicken yesterday, and I want to fucking explode because it's like, here we are about to have another fucking global pandemic because people have to go and eat chicken. These chickens are crammed by the thousands into shit-filled sheds in such disgusting conditions. They have to be given antibiotics to keep them alive long enough to make it to slaughter. And this is where your food is coming from. And then you wonder why there's pandemics. You wonder why people are getting diseases when these animals are living in diseased conditions, crammed into shit-filled sheds. It's just insanity. It really is insanity. Oh, but it tastes delicious. Well, vegan food tastes delicious too. And since you want to clown around, I'm blocking you. Bye-bye. I don't need people to be this is not the time to fucking clown around. This is the time to act like a civilized human being and stand up for this planet, to stand up for these innocent animals. And in case you don't know, wild animals are being annihilated. And I'm sure with this fucking bird flu thing that just broke out, all these poultry farmers literally having to kill tens of millions of birds. And what's going to probably happen? Now they're probably going to start hunting every fucking wild bird on this goddamn planet. As if they haven't already wiped out most of the wildlife on this planet. They're annihilating wild animals over this disgusting, deplorable, brutal industry. And it's time to wake up and take a stand. Take a stand. Report animal abusers. Report the earth destroyers. Don't report the people who stop harassing me. Stop fucking bullying me. I'm not ever going to shut up about this. I'm going to the streets tomorrow. Okay, is anybody going to do the same thing? Here, let me show you what I'm doing tomorrow on behalf of the mothers, the forgotten mothers, the dairy cows. Let me show you what I'm doing tomorrow. And you think you're going to get me banned from this app, you bullies? You're not going to get me banned, okay? Because I'm just going to create another account like you create other accounts to bully me, to harass me, to try to silence me. It's time for people to put your fucking clothes on, stop shaking your fucking asses, and do something for this planet. It's so disgusting that everybody's just turning a blind eye to all the fucked up shit that's going on in this world. And everybody just wants to play happy. Look at my big fat ass. Look at my big luscious tits. It's so fucking fucked. I'm just out of patience. I am out of fucking patience. I am so out of fucking patience with people. And I'm the asshole. I'm the fucking insane one that needs to fucking be put on medication. No, I don't. I think I would have to be needing medication to know what I know and to keep my mouth shut about it, to turn a blind eye. That would make me insane, to have to turn a blind eye and then to be silenced when here I am. All I'm trying to do is help fucking save animals from being tortured and killed, help save this planet from being destroyed. And I'm being made out to be the bad guy. I'm made out to be the fucking asshole. Well, no, shit's gonna fucking hit the fan because I am getting to the point where I have fucking had the fucking clowns and the fucking bullies. And before they take my live stream down, because, you know, an honest person is literally trying to talk sense into people who literally just want to clown around and bully me. Before I get my live stream taken down, let me just flip this around and try to maybe, you know, settle down a little bit, okay? So let me show you what I'm doing tomorrow. So even if I get banned, I still can get out there and I can literally reach thousands of people a day. And for any other animal rights activists out there, listen up, because this is something you can do that you might have not have thought of doing before. You can literally have these posters made. Go to a very busy intersection, like tomorrow. What I'm going to do, I'm going to leave work a little early tomorrow. I'm going to take this sign that I had made to a busy intersection on Friday at rush hour, where thousands and thousands of people potentially are going to see this sign in honor of the forgotten mothers in the dairy industry. Let me flip this around. And of course, it's not there. Okay, let's see where they moved it to. When it used to be right there. Okay, now it's down here. Okay, well, I found it. And I need to turn this off. So let me get back to the effects and turn my green screen off so you can see the sign I'm taking to a busy intersection tomorrow for thousands of people to read. So even if you bullies get me banned, you know, I can still get the vegan word out there. You know, I could still reach a lot of people in other ways. Okay, I don't need this app where I'm literally harassed to hell and back. Where literally someone the other day told me to drink antifreeze just for standing up for animals. And I reported that comment to TikTok, and they replied back that the comment did not violate guidelines. So it's perfectly okay for people to tell vegans to commit suicide. Okay, TikTok allows bullies to bully vegans and tell vegans to kill themselves. But I'm the one who has my live streams taken down. I'm the one who has my content removed just for sticking up for animals. And, you know, this just makes me want to do this. I can do this 24/7. I don't have to sleep. I don't have to fucking sleep. I barely sleep anyway. How can I sleep when literally tens of billions of animals right now are being tortured and everybody thinks it's a fucking joke? Everybody thinks it's a joke. Look at this person. Get her banned. No, get animal agriculture banned. And you wait till I make the fucking sign about the sexual abuse going on in the animal industry, and I take that to the streets. I'm taking that sign to the fucking streets. I'm taking that sign to the streets next. But tomorrow, I'm taking this sign to the streets for Mother's Day, for the forgotten mothers, the dairy cows. How dare you do this to these mothers? Take their babies from them, kill them, and steal their food from them, and then call me psycho. Call me crazy. I'd have to be crazy to keep my mouth shut. I'm getting sick of this stuff. This is craziness, what you're doing to these animals, and that you're literally defending this type of extreme abuse. And I wish Elon Musk would take over TikTok. Yeah, because veganism would be taking over the world right now if it wasn't for vegans being censored and our content being removed. We would be taking over. If we could get this message out to everybody, what is happening to these animals? Most people don't even understand that dairy cows do not automatically produce milk. They are producing milk because they're mothers, and that milk is for their babies. But their babies are taken from them, and if they're boys, they are killed. And I'm taking this sign to the streets tomorrow at rush hour. At rush hour, and thousands of people have the potential to see it. And I'm going to be standing there with this sign. And I'll do it again on Sunday. But I want to do it tomorrow because I know there will be a lot of people at rush hour tomorrow on a Friday evening here. And maybe I'm going to take it down to downtown. This is a very, very touristy place here where I live. Yeah, I think maybe I should take it down to where all the tourists are, you know, where all the rich people are. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do tomorrow. I'll take this down to the ice cream shop in the middle of, you know, this very high-end society with all these rich people. And they can learn the truth about their ice cream. Oh, it's Mother's Day. Let's go get Mommy some ice cream. Well, you're going to find out what happens to other mothers for that ice cream. This is the sign I am taking tomorrow at rush hour to expose people in my town to reality. And then I'm going to do the same thing on Sunday. But on Sunday, I think I'm going to take this sign down to the tourist section of where I live, you know, where all the rich people are. Stand outside in front of that ice cream shop there and give people a dose of reality. Let them know that this is what's happening. This is what's happening to the mothers in the dairy industry so people can have ice cream. These dairy cows become spent at about 5 years of age. They can live 20 years, but they become spent, meaning they can no longer produce enough milk to make their slave masters money. So they're sent to slaughter. And their babies are stolen from them. If those babies are boys, they are slaughtered. at just a few weeks of age. Yeah, I'm for real, and you're blocked. Oh, you got to sit here and be all nice to everybody and act like you're so happy. Yeah, I'm not happy. I'm not happy that I live in a world of people who ignore what's happening to these animals and then comment, meat is good. It's not good for the animals who have to suffer and die for it. It's not good for the planet that's being destroyed over it. And it's not even good for your health. Thousands of people dropping dead each and every day from heart attacks. It's not vegans. And I'm not a liar. I have no reason to lie. I'm not here making money. I'm not here trying to sell you anything. I'm just here to try to get you to align your actions with your own beliefs. That it's wrong to abuse animals. But maybe you think it's okay to abuse animals. Well, you should be vegan. You should be vegan. There's no reason in the world to be consuming animal products. And yeah, there is vegan ice cream. There is vegan ice cream. And taste pleasure is not a justification for victimizing someone. Taste pleasure is not a justification for victimizing someone. If it was, there would be a lot of crimes that would not be crimes. Well, I didn't go vegan because I didn't like eating meat. I went vegan because I saw what was happening to these animals and I couldn't justify it. And I couldn't claim to be against animal abuse if I was actually paying people to abuse animals and chop their heads off and steal their babies from them and kill their babies so I could have cheese. No meat is not good for you. It clogs up your arteries and can lead to heart attacks and strokes. Oh, and obviously there's got to be someone talking about abortion. I cannot take anyone seriously as a pro-lifer if you're not vegan, because you literally have the babies of other species killed morning, noon, and night so you can feast on their flesh. And look what you're doing to the mothers in the dairy industry. This is a downer cow. She is going to be sent to slaughter. She's probably only about 5 years old. She could live to be like 20. But this is typical in the dairy industry, that the emotional abuse, the physical abuse, the sexual abuse literally wears these animals down. So by the time they're about 5 years old, they become spent, meaning they can no longer produce enough milk to be profitable. Then they are sent to slaughter. And their babies are sent to slaughter if they're males. And the female calves they give birth to, they are treated just like these mothers. They are raised to be forcibly impregnated, in other words, sexually assaulted. They have their babies stolen from them. Those babies are killed if they're boys, and they themselves are killed when they can no longer produce enough milk to make those dairy farmers money. And these dairy farmers say that they treat their animals like family. Well, I seriously doubt there's any dairy farmers sending their family members to slaughter when those family members can no longer work and make money. Liars. They lie, and then they call vegans liars. We have nothing to lie about. So all I have to say before I sign off is if you're against animal abuse, you need to go vegan. You can hate on me all you want, okay? You can think I'm crazy. You can think I'm annoying. You can think whatever you want to think about me. This is not about me. This is about the animals and the abuse that's being inflicted upon them. It's ridiculous. It's unnecessary. It's cruel. And just so you know, yeah, wild animals are being killed. And our tax dollars are funding this annihilation of wild animals. And this is being done. This is being done so that the animal agriculture industry can maximize their profits. They are rounding up thousands and thousands of wild American horses every single year across the United States. These animals often end up in slaughterhouses after being auctioned off to kill buyers in slaughterhouses in Canada, in slaughterhouses in Mexico. That's what they're doing to our wild American horses. During these roundups, a lot of these horses end up breaking their legs because they're being chased down by helicopters. They're terrified. If they have babies, oftentimes their babies die of exhaustion. You should take a look at these roundups and see how brutal they are, what they're doing to our American horses so that cattle can graze the land instead, so people can eat meat and clog up their arteries and end up with heart disease and cerebrovascular disease and colon cancer. They're killing off the foxes and the bears and the cougars and the wolves and the coyotes because those animals are a threat to livestock. Kill millions of wild animals every year. So don't claim to be an animal lover if you're not vegan, because you literally have all kinds of animals slaughtered for no good reason, just for your meal, a meal that can easily be substituted with something plant-based that's much healthier, much more environmentally sustainable. Just look into it. Just look into it a little further. Why should I go vegan for the animals? Why should I go vegan for the planet? Why should I go vegan for my health? From the American Institute for Cancer Research, from the National Kidney Foundation, from the American Heart Association, stated on all of those websites, a plant-based diet helps reduce the risk of heart disease, cancer, kidney disease, cerebrovascular disease, type 2 diabetes. There's no reason in the world to be consuming animal products. And if you consume animal products, please don't call yourself an animal lover. You might be a dog lover. You might cry when you see, people slaughtering dogs so they can feast on their flesh, but you're literally having cows and pigs and chickens and fish slaughtered so you can feast on their flesh. It's not any different. It's not any different. These animals have to be rescued from you like the dogs have to be rescued from the dog eaters. The cows and the pigs and the chickens and the fish have to be rescued from you. It's just ridiculous. I, come across these dog meat rescuers and all these people calling them heroes. And then you say, oh, well, how long have you been vegan? What the fuck are you talking about, lady? Yeah, well, you should be vegan. If you understand it's wrong for people to kill dogs and eat dog flesh, you should understand it's also wrong for people to kill cows and pigs and chickens and fish so you can eat their flesh. It's just as cruel. They're animals too. They are animals who are sentient and they don't want to die either. And then all these wild animals being killed because these animals either compete with livestock for grazing land, like the wild American horses, or they are a threat to livestock, like the wolves and the bears and the cougars and the bobcats and the coyotes and the wolves. Yeah, see, look what I'm saying. I made sure my animals suffered. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? It's just like, okay, you can fuck off. These are the people that need to be banned from TikTok. Not the people who are literally here to try to raise awareness about what's happening. And this atrocity is literally the worst atrocity in history because this atrocity is destroying the planet. Animal agriculture is the leading cause of deforestation, species extinction, water pollution, water depletion, ocean dead zones, and climate change. And yeah, there's going to be wars started, water wars. Water wars started. Yeah, so yeah, you can say that animal agriculture is going to be, a part of the reason why some wars break out. And why pandemics. We're in the middle of a pandemic right now because someone had to go and eat an animal. And now there's this other pandemic about to, take over the world. This bird flu thing. Yeah. There's already been a person in the United States diagnosed with bird flu the other day. So, yeah, you're probably going to see more and more cases of humans getting the bird flu that's going around that I believe originated in Canada on a poultry farm. Yeah, they're having to kill tens of millions of chickens. Tens of millions of chickens killed. Yeah, the price of your eggs and your chicken is going up. Good. Time to go vegan. Time to go vegan. And animal agriculture absolutely should be banned. It should be banned. So yeah, give me a follow if you are against animal abuse. I'm interested to see how many people are against animal abuse. Give me a follow if you're against animal abuse. So when I get off this live stream, I actually know that there are some people on the side of the animals, because there's a lot of people in the comments section here that are clearly on the side of animal abusers, that it literally just stated that, you know, they love to see animals suffer. Now, obviously, who hurt you that you hate people who are literally standing up for abused animals? Like that you should want to be joining me. Like, hey, if there's something about my advocacy that you don't like, if you don't like the way I advocate for animals, but you understand, you know, what I'm doing is the right thing to stand up for these animals, but you think I'm doing it the wrong way, you need to take a stand for the animal and do it the way you think it needs to be done to convince people to do the right thing and stop hurting these animals. And yeah, when you're eating meat, dairy, eggs, you're also having all of these animals killed in the process. Because these animals are a threat to livestock, like the wolves and the bears and the cougars and the bobcats and the foxes. And because these animals compete with livestock for grazing land, like the wild American horses. And in Australia, they're killing off the kangaroos by the millions because kangaroos compete with livestock for grazing land. They call the kangaroos a pest in Australia. But it's not that they're a pest. They're not a pest. The animal agriculture industry is a major pest, and it's destroying the planet, and it needs to be banned. This is the most disgusting, the most destructive, and the most brutal industry that has ever existed. This is where pandemics start, in the animal agriculture industry, in these shit fucking filled sheds where they cram thousands of pigs, thousands of birds, where you get swine flu and bird flu, which bird flu now is like, you know, taking over. Already there's been a human infected in the United States. Just the other day, the CDC confirmed the first human that's been affected. And this is going to spread. It's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. And animal agriculture absolutely needs to be banned. Well, maybe if you can act like rational people instead of harassing me and threatening to have my account banned and telling me how you love to see animals being abused, maybe I could calm down a little bit and talk a little bit softer, you know, but I'm not when you're going to be rude and harass me and bully me and make fun of what's happening to these animals. If you don't want to hear me yelling, move along, move along, move along. And I thought you had a volume thing on your phone. Don't you know how to use the volume thing? You can turn it down, or turn it off. Yeah, that's why a fucking asshole that I used to work with had a fucking pelt on his goddamn office wall. So disgusting. Well, you're here. You're the one here on my live stream. I'm not the one on your live stream. You move along. I'm obviously staying here because this is my live stream. Yeah, well, vegan food is delicious too. Vegan food is more delicious. A lot healthier, a lot more environmentally sustainable, and no animal has to suffer and die for it, and no wild animals have to be intentionally killed. No wild animals have to be intentionally killed. Well, that's disgusting. You shouldn't be eating any animals. And we are not even true omnivores. No normal human ever gets the urge to kill an animal when we get hungry. No normal human sees a dead animal on the side of the road and thinks, yum, dinner. That's because we are not true omnivores. And the fact that heart disease is the leading cause of death, and a plant-based diet can literally help prevent it and can even help reverse it, yeah, that's pretty much proof we are not true omnivores. Or people would not be dying prematurely by the thousands each day. Meat eaters. It's not vegans dying by the thousands each day from heart attacks. It's meat eaters dying by the thousands. But our bodies are designed to eat. Look at Genesis 1:29 on the very first page of the Bible. Look at Genesis 1:29 on the very first page of the Bible. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. Yeah, so if you're Christian, why are you not vegan? Right there on the very first page of the Bible, Genesis 1:29, proof that God designed us to be vegan. And yeah, it's interesting that in line with Genesis 1:29, from the American Institute for Cancer Research, from the National Kidney Foundation, from the American Heart Association, a plant-based diet in line with Genesis 1:29 helps reduce the risk of all of those very common and very deadly diseases. And if you have any of those diseases, a plant-based diet can help treat them. And no, I'm not lying. Just look it up. I'm not lying about anything. I don't have to lie. I'm not here making any money. I'm not here trying to sell you anything. I'm here simply because there was a time when I was not vegan, and it was only because I did not know better. Yeah, obviously, the dairy industry is not going to come forward and tell you what they do to these animals. Dairy farmers are literally trying to get vegans banned from social media, like all day long. That's all they try to do, is get vegans banned because they don't want the truth to get out there. And the truth is, these animals are forcibly impregnated. They forcibly impregnate those dairy cows, force semen into their vaginas. If you were to force semen into a woman's vagina without her consent, what would you call that? You certainly wouldn't call it artificial insemination like they do. It's absolutely sexual assault. That's step one in the process of producing dairy products. Then step two, they kidnap the little calves as soon as they're born. Step three, kill the little boys. Yep, all the male calves born on those dairy farms are slaughtered because they are useless to the dairy industry. And yeah, typically they are sent to the veal industry, which the veal industry is where they actually get slaughtered. But they're still only like 3 or 4 months when they get slaughtered. They're just babies. How can anybody think it's okay to steal babies from their mothers, to steal their baby food? This here is a screenshot of an undercover investigation of a small family-operated dairy farm here in Florida, the Burnham Dairy. Go to the Animal Recovery Missions webpage and look at this footage, the full footage that they have on their webpage, the Animal Recovery Missions webpage. It's pretty horrific. Little calves penned with dead calves. Can't show you that. But this is standard practice right here, that they take these little babies off those dairy cows as soon as they're born, put them in these tiny little pens out there in the open. So if it's raining, like it was here, they're out there in the pouring rain, little babies that should be with their mothers out here in a tiny little pen in the pouring rain. So sad that people turn a blind eye or just don't care. And then you think I'm supposed to care about, anything. Like, I'm just concerned about these animals. I'm going to keep my focus on the animals because these animals are completely defenseless. And everybody around me, that's all they do, consume animal products. And, when they're consuming animal products, what they're actually doing is paying people to stab animals in their throats, to steal baby animals from their mothers and neglect them, and to kill them if they're boys. Yeah, I'm just here to stand up for animals and animals only. Yeah, it's pretty blasphemous to use the Bible to justify cruelty, to justify violence, to justify savagery against innocent creatures. That's pretty blasphemous. Just read Genesis 1:29 on the very first page of the Bible. Proof God designed us to be vegan. And what about the commandment, thou shalt not kill? And what about Isaiah 11:6-9? Yeah, it's pretty pathetic that you want to use the Bible to justify cruelty. And do you know that farmers sexually abuse animals to force them to reproduce? Do you think it's okay to take an animal's penis and sexually stimulate them until they ejaculate? Because that's what they're doing in the animal agriculture industry to those bulls in the dairy industry and in the meat industry, the beef industry. That's what they're doing to the roosters in the chicken and egg industry. That's what they're doing to the pigs in the pork industry. That's what they're doing to the turkeys in the poultry industry. That's what they're doing to the salmon in the salmon industry. That's what they're doing to the bees in the bee industry. They literally sexually stimulate insects to force them to ejaculate. Pretty unholy acts, if you ask me. Pretty unholy acts, if you ask me. Then forcing that semen into the vaginas of unconsenting females for the sinister purpose of forcing those animals to reproduce, to steal their babies, to force those babies, if they're pigs or chickens or turkeys, to live in overcrowded, shit-filled sheds in such disgusting, filthy conditions, they have to be given antibiotics to keep them alive long enough. And you're going to say that that is what God wants humans to do? Sexually assault animals, steal their babies, neglect their babies, steal their baby food, kill these babies. And the planet is being destroyed in the process because animal agriculture is the leading cause of deforestation, species extinction, water pollution, water depletion, ocean dead zones, and climate change. So this disgusting industry that you are here to defend in God's name is destroying everything your God created. And like I said, you can hate me all you want. You can think I'm the most annoying person you've ever come across on TikTok. This is not about me. This is about the animals. If you understand it's wrong to abuse animals, you need to fucking take a stand and do the right thing and stop paying people to abuse animals. And again, this disgusting, vile, barbaric industry isn't just, physically abusing these animals by chopping their heads off in a slaughterhouse and hacking their bodies to pieces. This vile industry is sexually assaulting animals. Cows, pigs, chickens, even fish, even bees, to force those animals to reproduce. That's step one in the artificial insemination process to get these animals to reproduce. So you have the little baby animals that they raise for their flesh. So you have the egg-laying hens that lay the eggs that are on store shelves. So you have salmon so that you have honey. They have to force these animals to reproduce so you can have animal products. And they literally force male animals to ejaculate. They masturbate them. They sexually stimulate them until they ejaculate. This is a fact. This is standard practice. And you're going to say that God put animals here for us to eat? This has nothing to do with God. Everything to do with sexual assault, bestiality. Sexual relations between a human and an animal is bestiality. And it doesn't matter whether the human is doing it for sexual gratification or not. I'm not saying farmers are doing this for sexual gratification, but they are literally sexually stimulating the penis of these male animals, forcing them to ejaculate. That's a sexual act. How is it not a sexual act to take a penis in your hand and, force them to ejaculate? That is absolutely a sexual act. Forcing semen into someone's vagina without their consent, that's sexual assault. Yeah, sexual relations between a human and an animal is bestiality. So you're saying God condones bestiality? Really? 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 You're really going to go there? Really? Totally blasphemous. Read Genesis 1:29. Figure it out. Figure it out. Oh, so if there's a human that can't consent, like children can't consent, even if they say they want to have sex, legally, they can't consent. Even if they verbally say, yes, I want to have sex, they can't, it's illegal, okay? They cannot consent. How can you sit there and say that it's okay to sexually abuse an animal because, well, they can't consent? An animal, they can't give you consent, so, it's totally fine to grab their penis and force them to ejaculate. And you might say, oh my God, listen to this woman. Listen to this woman. I'm literally stating facts. It's not me. It's not me doing these awful things to these animals. It's the people that are paid in the industry that you're funding every time you consume animal products. You should be appalled by that behavior, not by me literally speaking about it and telling you what they're doing to these animals because I want you to stop paying people to do these things to these animals. Everything that moveth shall be meat for you. Oh, so what Jeffrey did, with what Jeffrey Dahmer did was perfectly okay, Okay, yeah, because in case you don't know, humans are animals. And it says everything. In case you don't know, animals are not things. So what is it? Cannibalism? Or, yeah, we're supposed to eat things. Plants are things. Animals are not things. And humans are animals, in case you don't know. Oh my God, do we have a pro-lifer here? A phony pro-lifer who literally is funding an industry that is about to destroy all life on Earth. Oh my God. If you're not vegan, you are not pro-life. Okay, get it through your head. This is a fact. If you are not vegan, you are not pro-life because you're literally taking the lives of innocent creatures all day long for every non-vegan meal you consume. Literally having baby animals stolen from their mothers and killed if they're boys so you can have cheese and milk in your cereal and cream in your coffee, okay? You're literally funding an industry that causes pandemics, which kills millions of human beings, okay? You're literally funding an industry that takes grains from third world countries where there are 1 billion people starving to feed their animals so they can sell the flesh and secretions of those animals to possibly you. Yeah, I'm not saying, that every animal product, those animals are eating grains from third world countries, but yes, there are animals, billions of them, right now being fattened up for their flesh and secretions in first world countries that have gotten grains from third world countries where people are literally starving to death, including children. So don't say you're pro-life if you're not vegan. And animal agriculture is literally destroying the planet. It's the leading cause of deforestation, species extinction, water pollution, water depletion, ocean dead zones, and climate change. It's literally destroying everything God created. People are going hungry. Wars are going to be started because of resources. Yeah, the lack of resources like water. The animal agriculture industry, that's where most of the water is going to. 50% of the water usage goes to the animal agriculture industry. Takes an enormous amount of water to water all the crops needed to feed all of these animals. It takes up to 16 pounds of grains to get just 1 pound of beef in return. It takes up to 6 pounds of grains to get just 1 pound of poultry in return. And these animals have to drink water. And these disgusting sheds that literally house billions and billions of animals have to be cleaned out. What do you think they clean these disgusting shit-filled sheds out with that house all these billions of chickens and turkeys and the pigs, yeah, they use water. Most of the water usage goes to the animal agriculture industry. And yeah, isn't China about to run out of water in like 2 years from now? China going to be out of water in 2 years from now. Things are about to hit the fucking fan, but yeah, just keep on turning a blind eye. Keep on funding the most destructive industry, the most brutal industry, and then keep on, hey, I'm pro-life. Hey, I'm a Christian. Yeah, Genesis 9:3, kill, 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 kill. Even though, there's a commandment in there somewhere in the Bible that says thou shalt not kill. Even though on the first page of the Bible, Genesis 1:29 proves that God put plants here for us, for meat, for our nourishment. And in line with Genesis 1:29, from the American Institute for Cancer Research, from the National Kidney Foundation, from the American Heart Association, a plant-based diet helps reduce the risk of all of those very common and very deadly diseases. And yeah, a plant-based diet can help prevent pandemics because pandemics are caused by people eating animals, not from people eating plant foods. And you can say, oh, but what about the E. coli and salmonella outbreaks? Plants don't shit. That's where those things come from. That's the original source of your E. coli and your salmonella. Shit. Plants don't shit. So it's not coming from the romaine lettuce. The romaine lettuce itself is not the source of your E. coli. It's the shit, maybe the cow shit that they use to fertilize the romaine lettuce. Yeah, so you shouldn't be using cow shit to fertilize anything. Yeah, how about using compost or something? Oh, did you know Jesus personally? Oh, really? Yeah, well, we're not living in a time where there was like a limited food supply. We've never lived in a time where we have access to so many plant-based foods, but yet you still want to justify harming animals, even though we're living in a time when there's absolutely no need at all to be consuming animal products because we have literally endless plant-based food options. Back then, thousands of years ago, they did not have endless plant-based options. But even in case you don't know, Socrates, Pythagoras, Plutarch, Plato, when did they exist? Like about 2,000 years ago or some shit like that? Yeah, they all abstained from eating animals. Even Einstein, even Nikola Tesla, even Sir Isaac Newton, Benjamin Franklin abstained from consuming animal flesh because they knew it was immoral, unhealthy, and even Einstein knew it wasn't environmentally sustainable. So I'm going to sign off because there's just so many clowns on here and I've already been on here long enough. And yeah, I'm surprised they haven't taken my live stream down, because that's what they usually do because, they cave into all the little bullies on here, the little trolls that literally, obviously are here to do nothing but harass people. Yeah, plants' lives matter. That's why you need to go vegan. A lot more plants are being killed to fatten up the animals that you eat. And animal agriculture is literally the leading cause of deforestation. Think what that means for plants for a second. And if you're truly concerned about plants, not only should you go vegan, you should become a fruitarian because no plants are harmed for fruits, nuts, or seeds. Instead of saying how many hunters in here, ask how many animal killers in here, because that is what you are, an animal killer, not a hunter. Don't try to sugarcoat it. You're not a hunter. You're an animal killer. Say it. I enjoy killing animals. And anytime I come across somebody in my, everyday life, if I'm working and I ever hear a coworker say, oh, I like to hunt. I'm going to correct the fucker. And I'm going to say, no, say it again, but say it correctly. I love killing animals. Okay? Now it doesn't sound so you know, so pleasant, does it? Actually sounds kind of psychotic, doesn't it? Because it is.